Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Francis, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the illegal mining activities and Galamsey, which has been a big problem in Ghana for a very long time now.
Jesus, guys.
And as usual, I'm going to be going deeper to explore and give you some details you may not have known about the ins and outs of what has been happening in the country in terms of this illegal mining stuff. So with that being said, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on. Let's get into the video. A few days ago, the Ghana Water Company released a letter to the public and the media concerning the inability to provide the constituents of some parts of Central region with enough water. And in this letter, they go on to say this is because of the illegal mining activities that some individuals are engaged in the area. And they are only able to provide about 7,500 cubic meters of water instead of the normal 30,000 cubic meters, a 75% drop in the production of water. And this is just one of the many evils this illegal mining thing is causing in Ghana. Apart from the soil being excavated into this water bodies, blocking the production of water, the chemicals they use are also very dangerous and can affect the health of the people who depend on the water for domestic use. But that is not what we'll be talking about today. Let's talk about why these rivers have been targeted for mining operations. Amid the current unemployment crisis in the country, a lot of the youth have turned to illegal mining and Galamsey to take care of themselves and their families. As you may know, Galamsey is a very high stake and dangerous thing to do, but it also pays well. It is often thrown around that the miners of the gold get an average of 500 cedis per day, which is about $30 to work. So it's kind of a good deal considering the other alternatives in the country. But of course, this is causing a lot of harm to the people living in the area and will cause much more harm in the future if they are not addressed now. It is estimated that there are about 20,000 to 50,000 people working as illegal miners in Ghana now, with over 1,000 Chinese nationals working in the country. In 2017, the Minister of Information claimed there was about 200,000 individuals engaged in Galamsey in the country. So 7 years down the line, this number would obviously have gone up. So these people often target the rivers because of the ease of operation around the rivers, and riverbeds are a good source of alluvial gold, which are basically just gold which is separated from the main source and have been washed into the riverbeds. Mining on land would require much more sophisticated and expensive machinery to dig into the ground to find the gold. But in the rivers, you really do not have to dig that deep to find the minerals. And the process of mining involves digging a large amount of sand, which is then washed into the river, making the river cloudy and unusable. This has caused an outrage on the internet, with the hashtag Stop Galamsey Now trending on Twitter, and they are even talking about organizing a protest very soon. While these are all very optimistic and hopeful things to do, I have nothing against bringing attention to pressing issues, but it's also kind of juvenile. Let me explain. The business of Galamsey is very big. It is not about the people mining the gold or the people who are financing them with the machinery and chemicals to do these hideous and honestly horrific things to our natural resources. It's not even about the guards that are protecting the illegal miners, who may be people in the military and police service, or even about the officials and government employees who may be involved in this act. Galamsey is bigger than African governments and authorities.
The Gold Mafia is bigger than the government.
There are people in high places who are just manipulating everything, including our government officials and appointees. So the destruction of our lands and rivers really doesn't matter to them in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we're talking about a $9 billion enterprise. There are a lot of rich people in Ghana and beyond who are only looking to increase their wealth no matter the cost. And yeah, of course, the people who we have elected to lead us and protect our resources have some influence over what happens on our lands. So the question then becomes, Are these people powerful enough, empathetic enough, or even have the will to stop this problem? And the answer might surprise you. No, they don't. If anybody in Ghana would be knowledgeable enough about the illegal mining activities going on in the country, it would obviously be the people we have elected into office, right? Sure, everybody knows about this now. Our rivers are getting destroyed, our lands and forests are also getting destroyed. So, this is a major issue that every government employee should know about. And even in 2017, the president of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, promised to put his presidency on the line to stop galamsey in Ghana. And yeah, he implemented some policies to curb this, notably the establishment of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, a review of the Mining Act where penalties have now been made much harsher for people who are convicted of engaging in illegal acts, and also the government established Operation Vanguard, which consists of personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces and the police force who are specifically tasked with combating illegal mining. Despite these efforts and policies that have been put in place,
to put things in place,
there has also been some convincing arguments and reports of sabotage and corruption from the government, which at this point we all expect. So the committee I mentioned earlier, the IMCIM, was dissolved only after 3 years in 2021, and the combat against illegal mining was moved to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. And when this dissolution happened, the now former Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Boasen Frimpong, released a report on the failures and challenges encountered in the fight against galamsey. The report highlighted corruption and sabotage of government officials who were supposed to be leading the charge in fighting against galamsey. The professor alleged that some excavators that were seized from illegal miners somehow found their way back with the same illegal miners or just disappeared into thin air. It is a pretty long report and an interesting read, but I would like to make a video about it if you guys would want that. So let me know in the comments if you would want a video about that report. So despite the efforts the government has put in place, galamsey is still a thriving and booming business in Ghana. And I say business because it is bringing ungodly amounts of money into the pockets of people who are supposed to be protecting these lands and foreigners. In a recent investigative piece by Al Jazeera titled The Gold Mafia, there were some crazy revelations about how this whole illegal mining thing works, how money is made, and how people pocket this money and make sure it's untraceable by the international financial system. So in this piece, it was reviewed by one Matthias Alistair, a gold trader and a financial architect who built money laundering schemes for corrupt government officials, that he launders about $40 million every month out of Ghana through his gold trading network. And that is approximately a ton of gold every month. This is just one of the many people who are engaging the locals and government officials in this cancer which is hitting the country. They have been working for a long time with many politicians, regimes, and so many more. The first episode of the Al Jazeera piece was really kind of about Zimbabwe and how the illegal mining there is done. It is believed that in Zimbabwe, about 50% of the gold that is extracted from the country every year is produced by the illegal miners. And considering that these same people mentioned Ghana, I would assume that a similar type of operation goes on in this country too. So in the extremely hypothetical case that the same operations they used in Zimbabwe are used in this country, Ghana, this is how that would go. The miners who are involved in destroying their rivers and their land for the gold and money are obviously financed by some people who provide them with the excavators and chemicals used in the process. So these people will give the gold to their bosses, who then pays them their $30. These bosses would then go and sell it to the gold traders. So these gold traders buy the gold on behalf of the central bank which in our hypothetical situation would be the Bank of Ghana, and deliver the gold to the government. According to the documentary, about $20 to $50 million worth of transactions of this sort goes on every single week. Then the gold is now delivered to a refinery owned by the country's reserve bank, which in this purely hypothetical situation will be the Gold Coast refinery. The refined gold is now taken to Dubai, where someone will already be waiting to buy it. So they get there, exchange the gold for the US dollars, and return the US dollars to Ghana to be handed to the bosses who sent them. It is believed that the traders get about 35%, which in some cases can be as much as $600 million as commission. And this money ends up back in the officials and the people in charge, who would then give it to the miners in the form of new technology or more technology, so they can dig out more gold and destroy more lands and more rivers. And if you would like to watch the Al Jazeera piece, I will put a link to that video in the comments so you can check it out for yourself. So, of course, these are all very fictional situations that I made up based on a very true story and investigative piece conducted by Al Jazeera in Zimbabwe. So my final thoughts on this, the Galamsey is here, and not too pessimistic, but it will be here for a long time until some very drastic and painful measures are put in place for it to end. How are we going to combat this? How are we going to stop this complex system from working as little figments, little cogs in this big machine? I do not know, but let's keep doing what we can. Make sure there is attention being brought to the situation, making conversation about it, and educating people about this. So if you found this helpful, please make sure to share with someone and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And as a new and rising channel on YouTube, your comments, likes, shares, and subscriptions go a long way to help my channel out. So please do them and help me out. And make sure to follow me on Twitter or X at FrancisOF4. Please make sure to do that so you know when I am preparing to upload another impromptu video during the week. With that being said, thank you, and I will see you either Friday or another time in between now and Friday. So yeah, I'll see you later. Bye bye.